dangerous is that thing? I asked the...
You're in the room and you ask as well, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
so you and Kix are both in the room, okay. She turns to you and says, well, I'm no magician, and I'm not awakened by any means. Dr. Sindri seems to think it's the most important specimen in a long time. I think he phrased it as the most interesting magically awakened being since the arrival of the dragons.
Lady, shut up and answer. How dangerous is that thing?
Well, she just sort of fidgets for a moment and says, well, we were never given clearance to wake it up. It's heavily sedated. The thing in there could knock out, several minotaurs, but from what I heard, the group, and then she does an quoted, inverted comma thing with her hand, the group that acquired it down in South America, more than half the group didn't make it back, so probably very dangerous.
Then I say we don't release it.
Is it sentient?
Set a timer to release it.
The scientist nods and says, yes, all our studies indicate that it's quite intelligent, in fact. We rate it to be, above human levels of intelligence.
Just ask it to be nice then. It was only evil if they were being capturing it.
Yeah, I say we could just let it go here when we're done, and it'll probably take care of the facility for us.
Like, couldn't we just turn off the generator on our way out, and then surely everything will slowly start to turn off?
Turn off its sedation, its medical sedation, let it wake up.
But didn't Tumblr Bitch want proof of it? Us freeing it.
So this will be on the news.
Yeah, how else would this have come to pass except through us?
I'm struggling here because I have a moral quandary of Giant doesn't like murdering people, and this feels like this thing will
indirectly
murder all of these scientists.
Well, we're gonna take everybody out of the facility before we burn it down.
Wait, didn't she say if we burn it down, we only get the burn down pay? We don't actually get the gather information pay.
Yeah, let's not burn it down.
Well, let's gather the information and then burn it down once we have the information.
Yeah, but you can't do all three. I remember asking.
Yeah, let's not burn it down. I don't think that's necessary.
No.
Yeah.
Just turn the animals loose.
Yeah, we gotta let this thing go, though.
I don't know about turning the animals loose, though.
Yeah, this thing's more intelligent than a human. It's being held here in a medical experimentation. That ain't right.
It's only dangerous because someone was coming after it.
If you want, I will go make first contact.
Hey, people are dangerous. Doesn't mean you can just lock them up every time you want.
I don't think we need to talk to this thing.
Wait, I also... Alright, guys, I just remembered... pressing. We have, 19 more minutes before... Or, 18 minutes before the security forces arrive. So if we can get that data and get out and just turn off sedation, the better.
Yes, maybe we have Kix plug in here. This computer looks like it will be connected into a network.
Need to get what we came for.
Meanwhile, why don't you show us where all the other scientists work, please, little lady?
She sort of, looks at you absentmindedly and says, well, the other scientists work in the Arboretum and the main laboratories, but I've never actually met them, and I've only ever corresponded with Dr. Sindri over the Matrix connection in here. I've never actually met any of the workers. I don't even know the names of my fellows in here. We're simply told to call each other by our designations. So she's never actually met any of those scientists. She just either works here or sleeps in the dormitories. That's all she knows.
Can she just describe how to get there to us?
She just points them there and says, if you follow the lines, I'm sure they could lead you to anywhere you needed to go.
Alright, I'm gonna take the lieutenant's uniform or whatever, and I'm gonna put it on.
Okay.
And I'm gonna change my face to look like his.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna assume that the voice we heard before commanding us to give up was him.
Very likely.
He did say, this is Lieutenant Vigo, what's his face?
Yeah, Vigo.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to go get me from the car so we can walk me in here, or...
Well, there are those genome guys up above, remember?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just driving around still then. Jacking it. If I see any hitchhikers, I'm getting some some roadhead.
What the fuck?
Murdoch goes and picks up a hooker while you're all doing this. Great job. Alright, So Tex, you now look very convincingly like that guy, or at least with his armor. You change your voice and stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay, then you're pretty much going to be, perfect spitting image. So what do you want to do?
Giant, do you want to accompany me? I'm gonna go look for the other scientists.
Sure thing. I think south will be main laboratory. I think north was the Arboretum.
Yeah, north, according to the lines, is the Arboretum. South is main laboratory A through C.
And I think we determined it would take way too long to loot the Arboretum. So
yeah. If I can, I get all the scientists and gather them up near the elevator and just look after them.
Well, do you force them to go?
No,
some of them physically work here and they were actually brought here willingly. Others, all the ones in that room are willingly being paid. The other ones might have been appropriated and forced into contracts, quote unquote. Right. So all these guys willingly work for these dudes. So,
did any of them have a key card or something to give them access through these doors?
Yeah, the lieutenant had a key card on him. You can just swipe it in the, electronic reader and it'll go off.
What is story then? Am I intern? Are you teaching me to be cop?
It's big fucking intern.
Is there a data bomb on the key card?
No. Unless he tries to read it.
Maybe I captured you, Giant?
I will be janitor.
That's a great idea.
So you enter
this penis.
In here, things become a lot more, clinical and mechanical. This seems to be just like a simple storeroom. All of these boxes are labeled with a serial code, but very neatly stacked and ordered. You don't know what's in them, but you presume they're just laboratory equipment of some kind. And then the main laboratories go this way. This says main laboratory A. So you swipe the door and open in, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So the door opens. As soon as the door opens, a few of them do a look, then do a double take when they see Giant, and they just sort of stare open-mouthed and they look at you.
Hello.
Then a man here just comes up to you and says, "What is the meaning of this? The security forces are not supposed to be in the main laboratories."
Yeah, so listen up because we're short on time.
Aaron, remember you're doing another person's voice.
Oh, that's right. Listen up, we're short on time. And so I'm going to go through here quickly. Which one of you are under voluntary contracts?
Involuntary or voluntary?
I say voluntary. So which one of you are on voluntary contracts? Which one are you on involuntary contracts?
So they just sort of look to each other, and this guy here just puts up his hand that he's involuntary.
All right. Involuntary, step over here next to my larger friend, please.
He just sort of looks up to you forlornly and says, "Am I being extracted again? I swear to God if it's Renraku this time."
This time, you get to go wherever you want. All right, is there anybody else who would like to leave this facility?
They just sort of look back toward each other and they go, "That depends. Is Sanction S or Sanction X in effect?"
We are unaffiliated with the organization that is holding you here. It's our understanding that they're holding you is actually in violation of a number of international laws, and so in accordance with that, we are giving you the opportunity for extraction if you so desire.
So they look back and forth to each other and they say, this guy turns back to you again and he just goes, "Who exactly are you with?"
That's classified.
There you go.
Tumblr.
So they look back to each other again and say, "Is the facility going to be damaged in any way? Are our lives at stake if we stay here?"
I can't promise you that you'll be safe, but so far as I know, there will be no risk to your life.
So
the release of the animals.
Yeah, I think Giant kind of gives you a look, Tex,
Oh, we're not going to extract the animals to the outside and wake them up. We're just going to let them free in the facility.
I don't think we've got time to do that.
We're just going to shut off the power.
Yeah, we've got it's like a massive sedated beholder, so...
Alright, so yeah, Tex says, it would behoove you to leave the facility just so long as the paracritters are able to make their escape, as the holding of the paracritters has also been deemed illegal.
So then this man runs up here and says, "You cannot be serious. Do you know the net value of the creatures inside this room? They're worth to science. You'll be losing decades of research if you stop us now. You can't release them. Some of them are very dangerous. What are you planning? This is madness."
Shark Legs is down here.
This is Sparta.
Madness? This is Shadowrun.
Listen, sir, you have clearly been brainwashed by the patriarchy. Some kind of cis male makes me sick. Listen, I sexually identify as a helicopter, so if you cannot handle that, then I don't know, you're doing something wrong. Please leave. Get out of my sight. And then my rotor blades come out, and I hover out of the facility.
Sorry. This is what you hear.
Oh god. Okay. What do you actually say to him? If you actually said that, he's just gonna look at you like, the fuck?
I'm gone. I've hovered away. Yeah, I'm just like, listen, this is happening whether you wax lit. No, Giant would not use those words. This is happening whether you dislike it or not. So if they are dangerous, like you say, and you value your life, you should evacuate.
Then he just sort of looks back to his compatriots, and they just sort of like give him a look, and he says, "Are you releasing Subject 0082?" That's
Yes.
the Beholder.
The one with all the eyes.
Then they just sort of look back, and then they just sort of nod and says, "Yeah, we ain't staying here." So they all just gather up and say to the lift or to the elevator, I presume.
I have. Yeah, I've got a mini welder, so I'm gonna mini weld a message in the floor that just says "fuck the patriarchy."
Does John know how to spell patriarchy?
No, so it's probably like, how would he spell it?
Fuck the patry?
So the scientists are just going to go to the thing. Are you the other scientists back in the Beholder study room? You're taking them as well, yeah.
I assume so.
Yep.
Okay, if you give them the same, if you give them all the info about what you're planning to do, they're all going to accept. Just so you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we go to the Kix hacking thing next? Because she might be able to get on the PA system, and then we can just say, everyone get the fuck out.
Yep. Plus, we need Kix to hack the paracritter control systems or whatever.
Yeah. Should we head back, actually, Tex?
Might as well.
Or we could head to you.
You've got that console there. Just see what we can do there.
Alright.
Like, tippity tap tap. You might be able to actually do something.
Look at my hooves! My fly is stuck in this room. He's like, me.
I'm so tempted to write the Johnson's name on the wall.
Okay, so
because
if
I
you
hate her so much.
the involuntary guy who's like all for leaving here now, just like as you're gonna walk off, he says, if you're planning to release the subjects, the only one who has the clearance to do that is Dr. Sindri.
Which one's Dr. Sindri?
You'll find him in Lab 3, and he just sort of grimaces and says, it's not pretty in there.
Where is it?
It's at the back behind Lab A, B. So you have to go through the other lab to get to it.
So the one we were just in.
Yeah, it's the maximum.
Damn it.
It's the maximum one. It's like where only the highest security clearance can get into. And Hariel, you're a robot, by the way. Okay, so you just swipe the door and go in, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, as soon as you go in, you see a bunch of scientists, the one you saw before, working away on various genome patterns and other things. And they just turn to you again, same as repeat. You know, some of them just like pipe up. What's going on here? What's the meaning of this?
Get the fuck out!
just lift your gun to the roof and start shooting.
We explain the same thing as we did to the other guys.
Yeah.
We're here to do an extraction.
Given the few of these are actually involuntary, and given the choice of dying to said horrible beholder staying here, they all opt to leave. So they head back. Okay.
What's behind door number 3?
By the way, if you're interested in what subject they were studying in that room, because you know about the beholder and you know about the
Land shark.
land shark, the one in there is, where is your drone?
In the other room. The one to the left of it.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll just do this. Okay, so the one down there, when you look at the cameras, looks like this.
Oh.
So you see a very
It's a
very
Yeti.
large, at least 3 or so times the size of a gorilla with 4 arms, completely white, and it looks very fucking aggressive. In fact, even as you're in there, it's like slamming its fists against the wall, and you can see dented marks all across the wall, slashes from its claws. and it seems brutally aggressive.
Okay, when Giant sees this, he stops in his path and walks over to the door, places a hand against it, and he's like, I understand. I understand. By the way, Warren, as we walk through these labs, any like loose data chips or any data storage units that are portable, I'm sticking in my bag.
Oh yeah, there's there's shit all over the place. Like you could literally just like go to a table and like run your hand along, and you could put like 50 data chips or
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Else.
I'm grabbing as much possible intelligence from this place as I can.
Okay. So you go on this one, Tex? Yep.
Yep. I'm thinking when we let these things go, we should set up a delay so that one gets let go, then the other, so they don't all just run into each other.
The horrible thing is, like, she's doing this to help the animals, and they're probably all going to kill each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's the natural way. I mean, that's nature just taking its course. So what can you do?
As this door opens, a sort of a small, sort of foggy smoke comes out of the door. The room is very bright and very well lit. Like the floor is literally giant, like sort of floodlights, if you know what I mean. It's got clear, gas things going on right now, but you're not. It doesn't seem to be toxic in any way, and you don't feel any effects. But it seems like hyperly clean. A bunch of scientists in very advanced sort of surgery suits and hazmat gear sort of go from what they're doing, and what they're doing is not pleasant to say the least. These two individuals here seem to be humans that they've had extensive surgery done on them. Pretty much every part of their body, from the top of their head to their toes, has like those marks like surgeons put on you to indicate where they're gonna like cut and things like that. They have hundreds of those and like even more incisions, and their bodies are black and blue, and it looks as if they've just
black.
It looks as if they've just finished a very detailed surgery, if you know what I mean. And they sort of look around at you, breathing through their masks and things like that. And one Indian fellow in a very Indian accent just sort of turns to you and says, "Who the devil are you?"
I'm guessing you're voluntary scientists here, correct?
He just sort of narrows his eyes through the mask, and you can say, "Who exactly are you to be asking? You're not Lieutenant Vigo."
I'm guessing you are Sindri.
He just sort of, puffs out his chest and is clearly very proud of himself, and he says, "Yes, I'm Dr. Martin Sindri."
The giant raises a big hand and points to the slabs, and he's like, "What are you doing to these people?"
He just sort of looks you up and down and says, "I don't believe that's any of your business. What clearance do you have to be in here?"
I take out my sword.
Are you able to open this? Are you able to open the door? I think you might have closed the door, and it's made us not have any vision in there.
Yeah, we can't see the actual room.
Really?
I saw it, but then it went black, which is why I said
Can
it all
you
went
see it
black.
now?
Click to where it is.
No, it's
No,
black.
can't see anything there. Can you just
Really?
put my fly spy in there?
Yeah, I'll try to fly spin. I don't know why you can't see it though.
Well, I did
went
see
black
it,
a second
and then
ago.
it
There
just
we go.
blacked out.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so when he says, like, "What's your authority?" I pull out my vibro sword and just flick it on, and you can hear, like, the dim hum in the silence of the room.
And he just sort of goes, "What is the meaning of this? Where is Lieutenant Vigo? What's going on here?"
We have authorization to make an extraction here of involuntary contracted workers. That's obviously not you. And then Tex looks at the other three. And the three of you look like you enjoy your work here as well. I'm guessing you're under voluntary contracts.
They just sort of look back and forth and to Dr. Sindri, and he just sort of speaks to you and says, "I don't know what you're doing here or what you believe you're accomplishing, but I'm telling you right now, my superiors will hear of this."
I say, Giant, I think Dr. Sindri's genitals need a little attention.
I nod and I maybe the vibro sword has power levels or just like a volume knob, and I just turn it up so it's like, and I start walking towards him, and I'm like, "I will repeat the question. It seems to have not got through your head the first time. What are you doing to those people?"
So he just sort of backs off into the corner, and this guy gets way the fuck out of your way, and then he just sort of talks to you and says, This is the last stage of the process. It's implantation. These subjects have been given various vials and doses and imbued with the organs of the specimens. It's as normal procedure."
Were they voluntary?
He just sort of looks at you and starts shaking it. He's clearly scared and says, I do not question where the test subjects come from. I merely perform the procedures. That's all I know."
Okay, so like Giant's probably visibly trembling at this point, and he just like looks at Tex, because Tex is like his last bastion of save him from going batshit insane, or you can let it happen.
So the text says, Giant, for now, we need Sindri. These other three, they look like they were taking part in the exact same thing that Sindri does, and I don't think they were doing it against their will. These aren't really people, Giant.
Giant just slowly nods and he's like, "You're right. So, should not be treated as people, much as you treated these poor innocents here." And I grab this guy, pin him off the wall, and just run him through the stomach with my vibroblade, and then I just proceed to hunt down the other two and kill them as well.
Okay, so they like start running and screaming. This guy runs in here. This guy
Tex just
here
tries to
starts
get in his way,
banging on the door over here, like swiping his key card against it, trying to get through, but he's slow as shit.
Yep. So I systematically murder them all.
Wow, some brutal shit.
And afterwards, I guess I turn to Tex and I'm like, "Tex, if you could keep this between us."
Of course, Giant. Why would I talk about some random mannequin-like targets being destroyed? It's nothing.
You are a
Does
good
Giant
friend,
have any?
Tex.
Does Giant have any
Target
flashbacks?
practice.
Oh yeah,
Like
just don't have any
murdering
flashbacks
innocents.
from murdering scientists.
Okay, as they all die, like Sindri is like he just literally is on the floor, like cowering and shaking like very rapidly.
The Giant just comes over, sheaths his sword, and like cleans the blood off of his hands, and is just like, "You will help us now."
He just sort of looks up at you, like still shaking involuntarily, almost like he's gonna faint, and he says, "Will you spare me?"
You saw the quick deaths that these guys got? That's a very nice, clean death. I think my buddy Giant could offer you one of those if you help us.
He just sort of shakes and says, "I'll help you, but you have to let me go. I know things. I have access to accounts. There's information here that's worth a great deal of money. If you let me go, I'll give you all of the passwords. You can take everything."
You will help
Giant.
us, and that once you have helped us, we will let you go.
He
He doesn't say we will let you go. We will free you.
He just sort of looks at you quizzically and says, "I swear, the details in here are worth a great deal to whatever corp you're working for. They'll be very happy with you, and I'm sure you could skim some of the funds from the appropriations account."
Yes, don't worry. I'm sure your money is very important to my friend Giant here. You'll be fine.
And materialistic. And before we come out of the room, I point to the two, and I'm like, "What would happen to them if they were left here?"
He looks at them and says, "The subjects? Who cares? We have to get out of here as quickly as you can if you're going to release the creatures."
Warren, these two, do they look like completely fucked? Are they like surgically may as well still be open?
It looks as if like you interrupted it halfway through like a very long multi-hour procedure, if you know what I mean. So unless like he finishes closing them up, they'll probably be fucked. But who knows if what he's done to them will even work anyway. So
yeah. So
start closing.
It could literally take him hours.
Yeah, I'm like, Tex, Sindri, start to help. I will catch up. Give me 2 minutes.
Increase their anesthesia.
Do we have anybody that can cast heal spells? That might make it faster.
Oh, and just in case you're interested, the last group of paracritters in the holding cell just below that operating theater room, it looks like that.
Fun.
Ooh.
Look forward to unleashing these.
I do have heal.
So if anyone wants to try and guess what any of those creatures were, with parazoology, you could do that. It's up to you.
I can try. It's probably a super high.
Or you could literally just ask Sindri. He'd probably tell you anything at this stage.
All of them used to be sperm whales.
Yep.
That's a glitch.
Yeah, so they're chickens.
Tasty,
Para
chickens.
chickens, yeah. You should release them.
Delicious. We will Kentucky Fried them.
So, do you want to ask Sindri what they are, or what do you want to do with Sindri exactly?
Ask him all the things.
So, if you want to know what they are, he tells you that the ones below him now are basilisks. Okay? And the reason they had them is because their regenerative capabilities are well known, and their ability to petrify, quote unquote, their enemies with their eyes is also of great interest to, their research. Basically, they were attempting to transplant the awakened eyes into human beings to make them be able to paralyze their enemies just by looking at them, that kind of thing. The ones to the the giant gorilla thing is a awakened sort of gorilla called an Ogrelon, okay? And they're extremely rare, and they're known for their immense strength, and he was basically using them to, they have very strange muscle patterns, basically, like hyper-dense muscle patterns, and they were basically extracting it from them and cloning it into humans to make them ridiculously strong. And then the weird shark thing, whose name I've totally forgotten, but I will find eventually for you. The shark thing, basically, it can breed in almost any atmosphere. So it can survive in the lowest ocean depths, and it can also survive. It's been theorized that with a bit of adaptation to its DNA, it could literally survive in space without the ability or need to breed, if you know what I mean. So that was being studied for its environmental respiratory system, basically. So all three of those things, plus a great deal many more, have been transplanted into these two humans here.
Are these like affixed tables, or are they like dollies with wheels on?
They are dollies with wheels on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I glanced at text. Do you think Amber might be able to help these two?
Yeah, she's got magical healing. That in combination with some medical treatment might be able to.
They were in the last stage of the surgery, he explains, and they hadn't had the respiratory system implanted into them yet, so they're literally surviving on machines on the wall. And if you move them, they might die, but they literally don't have any lungs or anything right now because they literally have their cells have been altered so that their entire system essentially respires on its own without the need for lungs or anything like that. So.
I'd say we end these things, but I'm not here.
I just turn and look sadly at Tex. I do not think we have time. Do you want to take Sindri? I will clean up.
Yeah, come with me, Sindri. We have work to do.
Okay, so he's just very glad to get away from Giant. He runs eagerly after you.
Get all the data. Passwords. La la.
Yeah, so I try and I cover them up as much as I can, close their eyes, give them as much dignity, and then I just break each one of their neck in one swift motion.
Okay, so with a sickening crack, they die, and the thing flatlines pretty much immediately.
And Giant forces himself to stare at them after he's killed them, just to remember both of their faces. Then leaves.
Faces don't even look like faces anymore, if you know what I mean. They've been altered so much. They look more reptile than they do human, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he still does it though.
Hashtag blank bank.
I put Sindri into plasteel restraints.
Okay, so he just sort of looks at you forlornly and says, okay, where are you bringing him actually? Because you zoomed off.
Well, we need him to get to that computer.
Oh, you're bringing him into the main lab, okay. So he just sort of looks at you and says, so what do you require me to do? And he looked horrified when he went by all the knocked out guards and shit. And the guy with the no testicles and ball and dick.
Give us access to computer system.
Oh, do you want the scientists from the Arboretum as well?
We should probably save them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody.
Okay, I'm just gonna open it up, so if anyone wants to try and grab anything from in there, it's up to you.
Are any of the plants potted?
Not really, no. They're all
Do they
quite...
have fruit?
Some of them do, yes.
Grab the fruit. The low-hanging fruit.
Let's see if I have any gardening knowledge. No.
Kix used to be a soy farmer. Can she help?
Oh.
Well, do you have knowledge in soy farming?
No. No. It's just,
then you probably weren't a very good one. But
just pull the plow.
Okay, so what you want him to download the data and stuff, yeah?
Yes.
I think we can't. We want him to give us access so we can, because I don't trust this guy.
Okay, so he literally gives Kix like full access to everything he can do. Some of it he can't even get into because it's corporate managed, but like the majority of the research and a great deal of the controls are now totally in your control, Kix, and the system isn't looking for you because it just registers you as like a lower admin basically.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm looking for in here are any small plants, any means that they do like propagation, and any seed-bearing fruit.
If you literally just grab anything that's easy to grab, Tex, you can get 300 reagents, and the reagents are not of any tradition because you'll have to work out what they are. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you have 300 reagents if you literally just grab everything that's like not permanently needs to be in there basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to grab seeds if I can find any seeds.
Yep. So there are a few seeds, you can grab them. So there's about you can get maybe 30 seeds worth of stuff. Okay. So 300 reagents and 30 seeds.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the reagents don't belong to any tradition. They're actually something I've coaxed up myself. So you'll have to work out what they do later on. But yeah.
Just gonna add that to the group loot.
Alright, so Kix, you don't even need to make any rolls or anything because you pretty much just have full access.
Yeah, sweet. That'll
So,
speed things up too.
The data you want to find, there's like a ton of incriminating evidence. Seems that Genome, working through a great deal of sort of shadow corporations, some very shifty black ops groups, and a great many other things, have basically illegally poached protected paracritters or dangerous paracritters from all around the world for a number of years now. And on top of that, you can tell they've also illegally captured sinless people from pretty much wherever they could get them to use as essentially guinea pigs. And you can tell that in the 10 years or so the Project Genome has been operating, it only recently started to make breakthroughs, mostly due to Dr. Sindri's innovative, and you say innovative, it's mostly bizarre, mad scientist kind of shit that he started to do due to his due to his theories, they've started to make progress. But in the 10 years or so Genome has been operating, they've used, according to the, in this facility alone, 112 test subjects, of which none of them have survived the procedures. On top of that, the last two there were the last two currently in the holding cells, but you are aware that these cells here, and the ones in the holding cells off to the right that the other guys sort of came out of the door from, generally are used to keep people in stasis before they take them to operations. But the only people that were here were the two that were currently being experimented on, so there's no one else to free right now. But they've essentially kidnapped and murdered through scientific experimentation 112 people over 10 years. They've kidnapped numerous scientists, mostly all at the behest of Sindri, or at the behest of the administrator, the corporate administrator, who is unnamed, so you don't know who it actually is really running all of this, or financing it anyway. And Sindri seems to indicate he doesn't know either. He just doesn't question when people keep paying him hundreds of thousands of Nuin to like mutilate people, basically. So it's pretty horrific, and you fail to see how this couldn't stand up in a court, no matter how much Nuin like some megacorp threw at it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, this is pretty solid.
Yeah. So on top of that, you could get a bit of pay data about some less than reputable banking organizations that have taken kickbacks to hide the funds of this organization for what they're spending it on. As in, it's basically like hidden bank accounts to pay like the Black Ops groups and other even other Shadowrunners who've kidnapped people or gone for various power critters. So that would probably be worth a bit of new, and if you wanted to take that as pay data as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing that's left to decide is there's two things of interest. You could just open all the cells, or put them on a timer to open up a few minutes after you leave, or B, you can enact something called Sanction X, which it doesn't say what that is. It doesn't say what that is.
I think we should set it up so that one opens, and then after a few minutes another opens, after a couple of minutes another opens, and then after a couple of minutes the Beholder one opens. And I think we should leave Sindri in the room just outside the Beholder one.
Do you want me to put an arrow in his knee so he can't get away?
Don't worry, I will make sure Sindri cannot leave.
Right. From what I've seen, you're very kind-hearted. I have no problem torturing a man.
I can make exceptions for certain individuals.
Giant, no offense, but you seem very childlike in your inner state. Let me
You're
do it.
dimwit.
You don't need to do this. I can do it.
Are you leaving the knight errant guys here, or are you dragging them out unconscious?
We drag
Say
them
bring
out.
them out.
Okay.
Like,
And since we're going to all the trouble to drag them out, we take all their shit.
I guess I'll say, not everyone's going to fit on the elevator all at once, are they?
It's a freight elevator, so
It's gonna
be a
fit
pretty
everyone.
heavy load.
Okay, I
Okay,
guess
so-
I'll say,
Aaron, if you want to start taking this down, now would be the time to do it. They have 14 Ares Sigma 3s, okay?
Okay.
Each of them has 2 clips worth of stick and shock, and regular ammunition, 2 clips of that as well, for submachine guns. They have... what else do they have? They all have Erica Elite comlinks, okay? So 14 Erica Elite comlinks. And they all have Ares Knight Errant Mark armor, okay?
So just regular full body armor.
It's 12, but it has some upgrades and stuff, but it's stamped all over the place with Ares and Knight Errant logo, so I don't know if you want to take it. It also has like internal communications and things like that.
Let's leave that behind.
Could
Might
take
as well.
one for if you ever want to like do something, but it might be hard to,
Yeah, it'd be a nice disguise.
get rid of the serial number and shit in it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take the one that I'm wearing, basically.
Okay.
And I make sure the wireless on this is like turned off.
Between them, Knight Errant Troopers have about 800 Newen, like in small cred change and shit. So
Let's
if
just
anyone
divide that now.
Yeah.
do you want me to do that? 800 you said, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah,
14. There's 7 of us, right?
If you want to rob the scientists, including Sindri, they have probably about, 1400?
I
Between them.
don't think we robbed the
Don't rob them.
scientists.
Okay, if you just rob Sindri, he literally has 700 credits. Or not credits, Newen, sorry.
So 214 each.
well, keep a calculator nearby.
So, Sindri, seeing that you've, done everything you're going to do and you're planning your last moments, he just sort of runs up to Tex and says, I did what you asked. I can give you the bank details. I can give you much more information. You just have to let me go. I'll go join the other scientists now, yeah?
Don't worry, we're not going to kill you, but we do need you to follow me. And I just drag him towards this room.
And he just sort of looks at you forlorn and says, but I can input the details from my bank account here. I've accumulated quite a vast reserve, and I can also give you the appropriation account, so I think there's maybe...
Okay, in the middle of him talking, I'm just like, shut up.
He just sort of looks at you, shocked, and then just sort of walks to Tex. And he still, just starts pleading with you, Tex. He just goes, please, please, I can give it to you, I'll give it to you, just, I'll do these bindings, and then when they leave, they don't have to see, I can run out, I can call the elevator, just give me enough time.
Yeah, I just swipe the door and then Sparta kick him into the room and let it close.
Does he still have his keycard on him?
You took it off of him, I presume, yeah?
Yeah, we stripped
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, so you slammed the door shut, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so you immediately start here banging on the other door, and he says, "Please, I have money. I can help. I'll be a witness. I'll do anything."
I say, Tex, can you open the door for a second? I'm not going to kill him, I promise.
I hand you the card key so you can
Yeah,
open the door. if you want.
Does anyone have any duct tape or anything like that?
Don't. I like hearing him scream.
Coldest finger. Alright, okay, I just open it up and then try and just knock him out because he's pissing me off, with his constant screaming.
So you just punch him or whatever?
Yeah.
Don't, because he'll die unconscious. It's meant to be a horrible death.
He'll wake up.
So okay, I'm just gonna say you knock him back a bit, and he's bloody as shit, and he looks dazed but not unconscious.
Alright, and then I put an arrow 5 feet in front of him, just as a warning. And I say, be quiet.
Use this to fight the beholder.
Yeah.
You lock the door
Wooden
again, yeah.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the door closes, I'm just like, I remember reading story once. I believe Dr. Frankenstein was name. Seems like fitting end.
How's the ending? Killed by his own monster, was it?
Yes, I believe
So,
that was the story.
do you guys take the remains of the Rhododron? Yeah.
Yeah. I think...
Do you want to take this Doberman for as well? Because it's actually just like mechanically shut up, but it's could be salvaged. So.
Yep, I'll grab that one.
Okay.
So here's a smart idea: if we load all the scientists on like the end, and like all the knight errant troops on the end of which the security will see them first, and then when we're in the back, if you get me. So basically, if there's any security guards up there, they'll all be confused by the scientists and all the knight errant people, and hopefully they'll get scared by seeing them or knocked out unconscious.
Then Tex up first. He is pretending to be a lieutenant.
So actually, Murdoch, if you're up there now, did you drive around the block a bit and see what's going on and things like that? You actually saw like around the exact time Kix enabled the like release all the power critter shit and gave it a countdown. All the genome guys who were basically like at the door, calling the high threat response teams and everything else, and like putting down suppressive fire on the door to see if anyone can come out, they'd shoot the shit out of you. They all looked at their like clocks and saw like a reading thing, sort of started shouting at each other, and then like a bunch of them made a run for it. The 2 or 3 of them that stayed behind just sort of looked at each other, then dropped their shit and ran for it as well. So the rest of the genome guard ran. Okay.
You said you can control like my bike like by DNO, right?
Yes.
If I can, I drive it to like where Murdoch is.
Okay. So you guys get out. You bring all the scientists with you and all the knight errant guys unconscious. Okay, what do you do with each of them? Do you just let the scientists run, or what?
Yeah, I don't think we don't have a bus waiting, so.
I have my business card.
So all the scientists just look at each other, panic. They break off into little cliques that they knew about each other. Some of them even introduce each other and like actually give each other their names and stuff. Most of them just run or bolt in various directions. The knight errant guys, what do you do with them? Because they're still unconscious. Do you just pile them in the truck, or you just leave them on the top, or what?
I say just chuck them in the.
Is there like a dumpster on the facility?
There's a bunch of them, yeah.
We'll leave them in the dumpsters.
Okay.
What? Okay.
They'll be safe in there.
Yeah.
So you pile,
Star Wars here.
You pile all the knight errant guys, including the lieutenant who's now very naked, on top of the inside the dumpsters. You guys have the drones, you have the data, so
Can
it's
we
a
just
few
leave
minutes.
a note with them who's a dildo now?
You have a few minutes until like a high threat response team shows up, like literally just a few minutes, and like even less till like the first power critter gets released. So I guess you guys just bolt off in the truck, yeah?
Disappear.
Yeah, I go on my bike, separate way, and then like I invite any like human, I guess, who can actually fit on it, to, if they want to come with.
So as you guys drive away, like literally 2 or 3 minutes later, you hear the blaring sirens of the knight errant response team as they sort of converge on the place. You see you even see VTOLs sort of scour overhead, like heading towards the facility. And that's the last you hear of it as you bolted out of Tacoma and into downtown again. So you were told to contact Sylvie, also known as Serenity, as soon as you had the mission done by Comlink, and she'd meet you in the Matrix again.
I don't remember that being the name I used.
What name?
Tumblr bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you meet Tumblr bitch then.
There we go.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so you meet her in the Matrix again, yeah?
Yeah, Kix phones her up, and then, meet in the Matrix. Does anyone else want to come?
I guess I come because I want my pay.
We all know what my symbol is. The flying dick with the rotor blades.
Giant starts immediately spinning.
He's a helicopter.
Did John not figure out how to do this?
My logic is still 1 and I have no computer skill.
It's like on the old controllers where if you were holding the joystick when you turned it on, it registered that as like positions like neutral.
Like Zoolander, he can't turn left.
I'm just gonna paste you guys again and delete who's already here.
My god, there's 2 giants.
Amber doesn't want to be here.
No.
Okay. See you guys.
Kix's Matrix avatar is glowing.
Mm-hmm. So you meet her again, and she just sort of looks at you very happily. She runs up and like hugs Kix, Avatar style again. and squeals with glee and says, "I saw it all over the news. Very well done. Some of those creatures are fighting back even now." And then she even brings up like a report, and you literally see the freaking horrific gorilla thing throwing a knight errant dude into like a knight errant car and like smashing through the windshield before like going King Kong style running off into like the outskirts of Seattle.
The knight errant realised they should use lethal bullets, or they're still trying to be non-lethal there?
They're shooting like a ton of stuff at it, but it doesn't seem to be hurting it. It's literally like it's just bashing. It's literally turning cars over as it runs. If you know what I mean. The thing is massive. It's like at least like 20 feet tall. If you know what I mean. It's a massive gorilla.
Which direction was it headed?
It's doing a King Kong.
It was headed south. It was running off past Fort Lewis. If you know what I mean.
So not in the direction of any of our houses.
No.
Alright, good.
As for like the other creatures, you have no idea what happened to them. There's no sign of the basilisk or anything like that. But it's likely they're just still down there. They may have not even left. Who knows about the shark thing? And the beholder is nowhere to be found. So she looks very happy, and she says, "So, have you got some data for me?"
I've got everything you should probably need, and it looks pretty irrefutable. So, I don't know if she can have a look herself right now.
Yeah, you send it to her, right? Yeah. Okay, so she looks over and says, "Oh, we've got them now," and she just sort of smiles and laughs again, and she says, "I believe we agreed on 42,000. Yeah."
Yes, that was the.
Okay, so yeah, it was 42, wasn't it?
I thought
No, it was 42 if you got all the animals and the data. It was less if you just blew the place up.
I thought it was 56 if we got all the animals out as well. 42 was the base price for getting the data.
I honestly cannot remember. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure it was just 42 though, from what I have in my notes.
Yeah, because we was getting 8k if we was freed all the animals, and I put it in chat if you want to scroll all the way back up there.
Give me a sec.
Didn't Tex get a good negotiation or something?
He didn't even negotiate. Yeah, you're actually right. Yeah, it is 56k if you release all the animals. Yep. So 8k each.
Yeah.
So she transfers 56k to Kix and nobody else. Okay. And then she says, "There you go. Give them as much as they were worth," and she sort of winks at you.
I assume we get the 8k.
Yeah, everyone gets 8k.
Alright, cool.
Kix doesn't immediately say that to Serenity, though. She'll just be like, yeah, I'll divide it fairly.
Okay, and then she just sort of, glows with, her avatar literally glows with glee, and she just sort of looks back at you and says, "I have to take this to the sisters very quickly, but thank you for everything you've done, and be careful out there," and she sort of, like, immediately logs off.
I flip her off as she starts to leave.
Yeah, she literally doesn't care. The slightest.
She doesn't even register your presence.
Yeah, like she literally acted as if none of you were even there besides Kix.
What is opposite of patriarchy? Because we need to find that and destroy it.
Matriarchy. Yeah. Need to destroy the matriarchy. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. As a group suggestion, I put forth never doing jobs for radicals again. All in favour?
Aye.
Got paid a lot.
So yeah, all over the news.
We did some good too.
Literally all over the news around Seattle and a great many of the like state and even like interest groups is like the story of how a bunch of radicals who they believe are radical feminists because they found a fuck the patriarchy like blowtorch into the ground released a bunch of like very volatile and dangerous paracritters, and that a great many like activist groups are now under scrutiny and suspicion, if you know what I mean. So even though you got the data for her, it seems like the way that you did it might make it, even if she announces it, they'll immediately believe she's a terrorist because she has the data. But she'll probably figure out another way to do it. But everyone is like talking about like making new Trid videos of King Kong 2, The Awakening, if you know what I mean, about the paracritter thing.
Oh my god.
And other shit like that.
That hasn't already been made.
Yeah. On a less other note, a few hours after you guys get back and hear the story, a bunch of scientists who were unknown or even, weren't even supposed to be in Seattle or anywhere in the UCAS, at least 12 of them were found dead in various parts of Seattle, some of them in large groups, some of them running together, but all of them all of them died in various bizarre ways. The majority of them were turned to stone, like literally turned to actual physical stone. Others were mutilated beyond comprehension. Others seemed to just have like died as they were running with like, visions of horror on their faces. And nobody knows exactly what killed these 12 men and women who were garbed as scientists. But whatever it was, it completely disappeared, and there's no external like wounds or anything. They're either turned to stone, they just instantly died, or the worst of them, some of them seem to have been turned inside out, if you know what I mean, and things like that. But 12 of them are dead, and nobody knows what did it. But there are lingering traces of magic that experts can't understand. So
I go brag about this at the sports bar, being like, "Yeah, I did that."
Okay, you're now on the terrorist wanted list.
Alright, so that was that run. So you should all have AK Newen, and in terms of karma, let's see what you guys get.
Infinity karma.
We freed creatures that killed a lot of people. Good karma, right?
9
They
karma.
killed bad people.
9 karma.
9 karma, that makes me goes up.
9 karma for the bucket.
Do I get any bonus karma for my mercy kills, Warren?
I've included everything you guys did. So.
Cool.
And 8k million each.
Yep. Plus the 214 if you haven't already marked that down.
Plus we got that pay data to sell and all that. Well, we got to work out the reagent and
the research data.
And the pawn machines.
And the pawn machines we still have to sell.
Yeah, we have so much stuff to
Some housekeeping next
to sell.
session.
Also, all of the loot that we got.
I guess can we try and sell the pay data first then? Because I think that's going to be something we want to get rid of fast.
Yeah, you could post it online, or another group that would instantly buy it is the IRS, because they would be very interested in that.
How interested?
Yeah,
very, very interested. The IRS will pay for any large-scale sort of informants on large-scale megacorps like that. They're willing to pay somewhere in the region of about 2,000 yuan for relative information.
2,000?
2,000, yeah.
Oh.
If it will lead to, like, arrests and things like that. Which it very definitely will with that pay data.
That's 285 each. We might have better luck trying to auction it off, right? Or, I don't know, Shadowrun, so...
You may have better luck auctioning it off, but it may take an inordinate amount of time.
I'd say just get rid of it. We're not
and
gonna,
that's like
I'd
instant
get
pay.
loads more.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
285 for everyone right now.
Yep. How much does Royal Reflux cost again? I can't remember.
A lot.
Well, I mean, why
Depends
don't
on what level.
Like, not used, but the other one. It's in like 31k.
Used level 1 is pretty cheap.
I'm not going to go used.
Is there any way we could quickly do some rolls to find out about selling some stuff, like the Better Than Life sex machines?
Yeah.
Well, Wired Reflexes rating 3 is 217,000 yuan.
I'll just get rating 1 because that seems...
Rating 1 is 39,000 yuan.
Like, I'm 10k off, 12k off. I want to donate 12k.
Oh my god, I can get cyber feet and skimmers now. I will be the flying giant next week.
Do it. Do it. I don't think any of those are legal, so you can just get them. Are illegal, I mean.
Could we just try to sell the computer stuff we have to my ganger contact? He's in a nerd gang.
What would you have to roll?
The SimSense studio equipment shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you can roll with him. He's very interested in meeting you as soon as you mention it. So if you want to just roll negotiation with him, you can barter it up, so...
Cool.
Okay, so you got 2 net successes, that'll be another 100. You had 2 of the bigger machines and 3 of the smaller, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I looked it up. And it was 20,000 yuan for the bigger ones, and 10,000 yuan for the smaller ones. That's 40,000, so 70,000. He's gonna have to lower that price or something like that. So, let me see. Okay, so if you sell it to him, he'll be willing to sell it to all of you for about 2,500 yuan each.
To each of us?
Yeah.
Sounds good to
Awesome.
me.
That shit is very, very rare because it's SimSense stuff without the regulators in it, if you know what I mean. It's been modified so it can record gory shit, if you know what I mean, and make it seem more real.
Do you want to sell the guns that we just picked up?
Don't they have like serial numbers and stuff?
The guns are registered to Knight Errant, but I mean, you could break them and stuff, yeah.
We can just dump them.
My fence will pick up all the guns and shit at 5% times her loyalty. And her loyalty's pretty high.
Oh, 30%?
Her loyalty's 5, so it's 25%.
Alright.
So it's an Ares Sigma 3 cast?
What is it? Submachine gun?
It's a submachine gun, yeah. An Ares Sigma 3 submachine gun. It costs normally 1,000 yuan.
So she'll give us 250 apiece. So, and there's 14 of them, so that's 500 for each of us.
You also have those comlinks, which I think are rating 4, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because I have it.
Anyone need an upgraded comlink for 4?
How much is the...
Everco Elite costs 2,500.
Where would I see my comlinks in Chama?
Street gear.
Under gear. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take one of these comlinks as yours.
Yeah.
They are Knight Errant.
You'd have to crack it.
Okay, I have an Everco Elite anyway.
How much did we get for the SimSense machines?
2,500 each. Yeah.
Then 500 just then for the Knight Errant guns.
And 1,027 for the comlinks.
1,027.
Yep, each.
Yes, in terms of the reagents,
I'll take them to my... I'll take
We
them
should
to
hold
my
on to
translator.
those and figure out what the fuck they are for, because they're definitely special.
What about the fruit? Would that go off like soon, or?
I'm
seeds?
just counting all of that as like reagents. The seeds are something else entirely. So.
Yeah, the seeds. Should we do?
Seeds don't really go off, dude. They like die
no,
after a couple of months, but yeah.
I take the magical stuff to my talismonger.
Yeah, the seeds should probably be kept in a refrigerator in the dark.
Okay, well, do you guys want to look for a job yet? Because you're about 2.5 weeks into a new month, so...
No, I need channeling.
Yes, I look for a job with my...
Go fuck yourself. I need
go do
channeling.
a solo job.
Amber doesn't have to do a job, I think. We should probably try to find Zane, that Decker.
You will die.
Well, we're waiting on information about Zane. That's why we're taking the other jobs.
Yeah, that was coming at the last of the month. It's coming from that contact that Tex has.
Could I find out any way how I could repair those drones and like get that second drone working or what?
To get the second drone working, you have to crack it like you do a cyber deck, basically.
Can Kix assist?
Yeah, Kix could assist. And to repair the other one, you'll need to do like the hardware test thing to repair it.
Gaining ownership of something is an extended hardware test with a threshold of like 20-something.
24 and an interval of 1 hour.
Yeah. So it's we've actually like gone 20 minutes over the normal time we play, so just to get things in order so I know what to plan for in the coming weeks, do you guys want to look for a job, or do you want to wait a while and then look for a job?
He wants to like keep working, might as well.
Okay, well, I mean, you can look for a job. Okay, so how long do you need, Amber, to get channeling? Because that's how long they could wait for before they actively look for a job, or like look for a job within a month or something.
I'm going to get channeling when we get the information on Zane.
So at the end of the month, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have 1.5 weeks to do whatever the fuck you want, and you can look for a job after that. So if someone wants to roll a contact to try and look for another job, or wait until then and actively just find out what happens with Zane, you can do that.
I think we want, as soon as we get the data, we want to act on it. We probably don't want to go do a different job.
Okay, so it'll be the Zane thing next week then.
Cool.
I have to go like right now, so can we finish up doing the other stuff next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So it could go on for a while. Just make yourselves like a shopping list, basically.
Cool.
Thank you, Warren.
Cheers, everyone.
Yep.